योऽन्तः प्रविश्यामवाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् यं गुरुं हि स्वयं सत्यः प्रज्ञाभक्तिविनीतयः दीप्तिश्चाप्यभृता नित्यं तं गुरुं प्रणमाम्यहम् सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ईशावस्यमिदं समस्तभुवनं त्यक्त्वार्थगेहादिकम् ब्रह्मण्येव मुमुक्षुणा नवरतम् निष्ठाविधेयात्मनि अर्हत्वाय च तत्र कर्मविहितं कार्यं पुरा निष्फलम् विद्वानित्थमुपाचरन् हि भजते निर्लेप आत्मेश्वरम्. So we were just discussing the Upodghata in the Dinakara commentary, and this Upodghata is primarily meant to shake your faith and then firmly establish the faith. So this is what is the purpose of this Upodghata. So as I was mentioning the other day, so this is Shastrarambha. So the Shastrarambha, so whether it is meaningful or not. So in that we were seeing so various reasons which were mentioned why this should not be commenced, how this can be fruitless effort, and so on and so forth. So in short, Vishaya Prayojanayoho Abhavat Shastram Narambhaniyam. This is the Purvapaksha. Vishaya Prayojanayoho Satvat Shastram Arambhaniyam. This is Siddhanta. So Vishaya was not there, was refuted. Prayojana was not there, was also refuted. So in the previous class, so he was presenting another kind of an objection that can be presented to a Vedantin. So if you look at the second page of the commentary which you may have, so we saw in the last class Tarkashastradinam Sattvat. So these other disciplines of knowledge are there, which does not necessarily impose the condition that we should have sadhana chatushtaya. I can gain this jnana. So for that, the answer that was supplied was, other shastras are there, fine, they also talk of moksha, but they do not uphold aikatmyavada. So they are nanatmavadinaha. Okay. In fact, somewhere in Bhagavad Gita's Bhashya you will have nanatmavadino hite sankhya yogascha. So he will say, so nanatmavadino hi sankhya yogascha. That doesn't really lead you to the ultimate goal, and therefore he was saying that Vedanta Shastram Arambhaniyam. So this jnana is something which is uniquely available here only. So that is what he is saying. Now there is an interesting objection that is being posed. So 3 paras are over in page 2 as far as this edition is concerned. So we are going to start with न च वेदान्तापि साधय एव जनकयाज्ञवल्क्यादि संवादरूपत्वादिति वाच्यम् संवादस्य श्रुत्या सुखबोधाध्यर्थम् अनोदितत्वात् त्रिकालवृत्तान्ताभिज्ञा हि श्रुतिः. So we are going to have a discussion on this plus the next para. So for that I thought some other material will be useful and that was shared with you. I will just present in short what is being discussed here. Then we will try to understand in detail what is being talked about. This is a very important question which many of us have doubt in our own minds. So the argument involved saying that this is something which is anadi. This was one of the reasons which was adduced by him as to why you should consider Veda as a primary source of knowledge for gaining an understanding of the nature of Atma. So he was presenting the argument that the other Shastras have founder whereas the Veda does not have a founder, and therefore this is something which you have to resort to. The other Shastras have a founder when you say, so Adimatvam, Anadimatvam are the terms that are being used in Sanskrit. Adimatvam means, so we know that this has been constructed by somebody at a given point of time. Therefore, we call it Adimat. So that Purusha is Adimat and this is his own composition and therefore that Shastra is also Adimat. So as far as the Vedic tradition is concerned, we always uphold the position that it is Apaurusheya. In fact, there are 3-4 things that we try to attribute to Veda. You have to just keep that in mind. One is, this is Anadi. So Anadimatvam. So Anadimatvam means, so nature of not having any beginning. Okay, beginninglessness. Okay, Anadimatvam. So Anityatvam is another factor that we try to attribute. Okay, Anityatvam. Anityatvam is, Nitya is anything Kritaka. So this is Akritaka, therefore Anitya. So this is how you have to bring in. So Akritaka means Purusha Nirmitatvam Kritakatvam. So therefore you have to bring in the argument of Apaurusheyatvam. So Apaurusheya means this is not constructed by any Purusha. So this is the third aspect that we have to establish. And the fourth aspect is, so this is something which is Pramana, eternally Pramana. Okay. So Pramanyam is something which is Asandigdha. Okay. So these are 4 aspects that we try to give to Veda. Now if you look at this, the objection is very strong. He says, Nacha Vedantaha. So what is the argument that was adduced by you? You say it is Anadi, you say it is Apaurusheya, but that doesn't seem to be true. So that is what he is asking now. Why is it not true? He says, Nacha Vedantaha vi sadaya eva. Sadaya eva. The reason adduced is Janakayajñavalkyadi samvada rupatvat. The entire Brihadaranyaka Upanishad seems to be a conversation between Janaka and Ajñavalkya, and that is what you call as Upanishad. So if it is a samvada rupa, then how can you call it Anadi or Apaurusheya? Okay, so this is the question. Iti vachyam, iti navachyam. No, sir. So you cannot argue this way. Why? So what is the reason that he gives? He says, Samvadasya shrutya sukhabodhadhyartham anoditatvat trikala vrittanta bhijna hi shrutihi. So this is one sort of a answer that he gives. So what is the answer he says? Sukhabodhadhyartham anoditatvat. Anoditam means Normally we use the word anudita, means something which has been restated. Okay, uditam means that which has been stated. Anuuditam means it has been restated. It has been just restated, recounted, is what he is trying to say. Samvadasya shrutya sukhavabodhadhyartham, in order to facilitate understanding. Avabodha means understanding. So in order to facilitate understanding, it has been narrated in the form of a dialogue for you. Okay. Sukhavabodhadhyartham anoditatvat. Then he says, Trikala Vrittanta Abhijna hi Shrutihi. Trikala Vrittanta Abhijna. So how can you understand that it is Anuvada? When you say Anuvada, so that something has happened and you are just narrating. Right? This is called Anudana. So you see a certain event, and if you go and either write an essay or graphically describe it by words, then it is called as Anudanam. Or somebody narrated and you transmit it once again, it is called Anudanam. And how can Shruti do? So he says, Trikala Vrittanta Abhijnahi Shrutihi. This is a metaphorical usage which you have to understand. So Shrutihi Abhijna means, what is Shrutihi? Shrutihi is mere Shabda Rashi, right? So mere Shabda Rashi, you cannot attribute a quality which you attribute to a Chetana. So Abhijnaha means, you can say he is an Abhijna. So one who knows well. But Shruti is just a Shabda Rashi. So Trikala Vrittanta Abhijnahi Shrutihi. It is a certain metaphorical usage, which means the one who gave Shruti is Trikala Abhijna. So this is how you have to understand this phrase. So one who gave means, so you have to necessarily take it to Ishvara. Who gave? You have to take it to Ishvara. Now we have even this in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad itself. Asya mahato bhutasya nishvasitame tadyadrigvedo yajurveda samavedaha. We have a Shruti there. The Shruti itself says that this is something which has come out. In fact, if you read Bhamati, so he will also in his own Mangala Padyas, so he will say that this is to be considered as a Uchvasa and Nishvasa of Ishvara. Now, this itself can be further questioned. And this has been so thoroughly discussed by people. How do you understand this phrase as a Vishwasa and Nishvasa? Uchvasa, Nishvasa means it is just, so as effortlessly as one breathes, so effortlessly this came from the Ishvara. So it is essentially to convey that. So this has been stated, is what people comment upon. Now he is asking next question. The next question is, Nacha Ishvara Nirmitatvat Sadireva. It need not be Janaka, Yajnavalkya, etc. Let us leave it. Okay. So this is just a recount of, so these people recounted and then they said, see, many things get revealed, no? So for them that something got revealed and they are presenting it to you. Okay, I am willing to accept. But what was the origin of that? So that is Ishvara, suppose you say. So he is asking now, Ishvara Nirmitatvad Sadireva. Ishvara is also a Purusha. Then also it is Sadi, no? So whether it is a dialogue between Yajnavalkya and so whoever Janaka, or between Yama and Nachiketas, whatever it is. So somebody, some entity, it may be not human, it is some divine entity, suppose you say. Even if it comes out from a divine entity, you should call it Sadi only. Right? So how can you establish Anadimatvam? So you want to call it Apaurushayatvam. Maybe you can circumvent by saying this is not some Purusha, common man on the street, but he is somebody else. he may be a seer. So you transcend even this human form, you go to some divine. Okay? So whatever the divine entity is. Sanaja Ishvara Nirmitatvat Sadireva Vedaha iti Vachyam. Because it has been constructed by. So that is where he gives a interesting reply. He says, Ishvarenapi Purvakalpastha Veda Samana Anupurvikasyiva Vedasya Ihakalpe Ucharitattvena Apaurusheyatvat. This is what you have to understand. Just because it is Ishvara, you cannot simply say Apurusheya. Ishvara is only Paramapurusha, Parapurusha. He is a Narapurusha, he is a Parapurusha. Okay, in some human form, but maybe some divine form. Okay, he is also a Purusha only. So that is the kind of objection that he presents here. What is being stated here is something which we will be able to appreciate better if we switch to Bhamati. But I will quickly say what is present here, and then I will take you to the other script that I had sent to you. What is he saying here? Ishvarenapi Purvakalpastha Veda Samana Purvakalpastha. There is a word kalpa here. So this kalpa refers to a huge time period. Okay. So 43,20,000 years. Okay. 4.3 into 10 to the power of 6. So you multiply that by 10 power 3. Okay. So that is what you basically call as
4.32 billion.
No. That is what you call as 10 to the power 9. So which is essentially billion. So this period is what you call as a kalpa, roughly. So the number of years, the duration of a year multiplied by 10 to the power 9 is what you call as kalpa. Because we have in Bhagavad Gita also, Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Maharyat Brahmano Viduhu Ratrim Yuga Sahasrantam Tehoratra Vido Janaha. So this is one time. So the Sahasra Yuga is this, and you further take it. In fact, his own cycle and so on and so forth. There are various time scales which we have discussed about. These time scales, what do they say? So they say that in these time scales, there will be a complete overhauling of the entire universe. Understand? So today we know that after a very long period, there is going to be some ice age. Right? And once again things will come out. So this is a cycle, a very large cycle that we are talking about. So this geological scale is something which is much inconceivable. And when you go to cosmological scale, that is a different thing. So birth of galaxy and so on, that is a much larger period. So that there is a certain cycle which is happening is what they are talking about. So kalpa is a large period in which he says that everything will go to a pralaya. And then once again after some period, things will start emerging. So this is the understanding that we find in our scriptures. So that is what he has in his mind. He says, after one kalpa, there is another kalpa which is going to follow. So what is being stated here is, Ishvarenapi. Assume that there is a divine being who comes into existence at the beginning of kalpa. What he does is essentially reveals the knowledge what was present before in the previous kalpa. Okay. So what is he saying? See, it is not something which is inconceivable even if you are a pure scientist. See, we talk of the lifetimes of various beings. Right? So various minute things. So we talk of time scales of 10 to the power minus 12. So that is how it will be living. That is how long will it live, means only that period. And how big is the time scale that you can conceive of? It can be several powers of 10. Anyway, so this, you conceive of a being, okay? So that being called Ishvara. And he can be in some visible form, invisible form, whatever be the form. But he has all the knowledge. See, today, all these electronic gadgets also really puzzle us. So 40 years before, nobody would have thought of a small chip containing some millions of books. Right? So that this information can be packed in such a tiny speck. Anyway, there are so many other things that we talk about. So even in cosmology, so how much of matter can be in such a small size? Unbelievable. You can think of galaxies absorbed into no space. Anyway, so here just think of that, something like that. He says there is a Purvakalpa, you imagine, when things have not got manifested. Okay, something in very subtle form. So he says when it is revealed, what is revealed is what was already there. Okay, so he says that this got revealed in the same form as it was there in the previous kalpa. This is purely logical argument. Ishvarenapi purvakalpastha. You cannot say no. Right? What will happen to this universe? We don't know. Anyway, purvakalpastha. See, Veda samana anupurvikasyaiva vedasya. Vedasya means shabdarashehe. Vedasya iha kalpe uccharitatvena apaurusheyatvat. So that is how we say it is apaurusheya. Then you have to understand carefully what is apaurusheya here. Okay, so apaurusheya means, so today, so suppose you want to patent something. What do? You have to first establish that it is your own thing, right? Suppose there is some knowledge which is already available. You can't go and patent. It is already available. So here, Paurusheya means it is done by you and therefore it is valuable and therefore you can gain something out of it. Then only you can get into the process. If it is already there, then it is not a Paurusheya just because you write something about it. It is already there. It is like turmeric and its benefits. Okay. So now, Paurusheya and Apaurusheya, so whether it is a Swatantrataya Tvaya Nirmitam va, or you are just reproducing something. If you are reproducing, then it is not Paurusheya from you. It is already there. Okay. So the Swatantriam should be brought into picture, into the discussion now. See, he is saying Apaurusheyatvat. Then Ucharana Anucharana Vishayatvam hi Apaurusheyatvam. This is a very important statement. Ucharana Anucharana Vishayatvam hi Apaurusheyatvam. So suppose your teacher taught, just take Shanti Mantra of Ishavasya. Om. Right way of chanting. Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Suppose you say, you need not know this swara, you are just reading, somebody taught you, right? So Saswara Ucharana, so where did that person learn from? From his own teacher. From his own teacher. This is how the parampara goes. So you have established a certain parampara which is so tightly knit. Okay? And you don't lose any akshara, any swara and so on. So this is the kind of thing that you are talking about. This is what you mean by Ucharana Anucharanam. So Veda is to be learnt through Ucharana Anucharana mechanism only. Okay. So Ucharana Anucharana mechanism. So then only you will be able to see that this is perfectly mastered by you. Okay. So at the number one. Number two, you have to just think of a certain period in which Ucharana Anucharana was the only means by which you can transmit. Today you can say I have this device, that device and so on and so forth. Okay. So it is through Ucharana Anucharana mechanism that this has been transmitted over thousands and thousands of years. Now he is saying, so this Ucharana Anucharana has been happening through a certain parampara. And this parampara has simply transmitted. Nobody has added anything. So there is no value addition which has been done by. Okay, as far as the Shabda Rashi is concerned. So Tyagaraja Kriti, suppose you want to sing. You cannot just add your own swara there. Okay? So that is not acceptable. So you have to just sing. This Pancharatna Kriti means Pancharatna Kriti, that is all. So that is how the pristine form of Veda has been presented for thousands of years, preserved and presented from generation to generation. And since you are doing this, there is nothing like Paurushaya here. The teacher taught and you have just learnt and you transmit further. So it just goes on. So there is absolutely no swatantriyam which is there to anybody to introduce something or remove something. Okay. So he says this is what we actually mean by Paurushaya. Suppose you are cooking something. So this food is prepared by you, fine, you can claim. This recipe is mine. Okay, like this Mysore Pa recipe. Whatever be the recipe that you can call, this is mine, that is mine, etc. But as far as this knowledge is concerned, it is simply transmitted over thousands of generations. Okay. Therefore, there is nothing like Paurushayatvam. Anadimatvancha vedasya asmabhihi uchyate natu sutaram adya bhavaha. So this can be sort of confusing statement. So we are calling it Anadi, but we are not saying it does not have Adi. Sutaram Adya Bhavaha Nochate Anadimattam Uchyate. What do you mean by this? Okay. So now I will take you to this Bhamati. So you may open up the notes that was supplied to you. So that will be a far more interesting discussion which will clarify what has been stated here in a nutshell by Ramaraja. This Bhamati is, as I was mentioning to you the other day, is a super commentary on Bhagavad Pada's Bhashya. Bhagavad Pada, Adi Shankara Bhagavad Pada has written commentary to Brahma Sutras. And on that, Bhamati, Vachaspati Mishra, has written a super commentary. So that is a very brilliant commentary, and he was one of the super brilliant minds who lived in recent times. Recent means not 4,000-5,000 years ago, but several hundred years ago. Okay. Now, he has this discussion presented in the commentary to the third sutra. So in one of the introductory lectures, I was mentioning to you that what this author has done, this Ramaraja Kavi, is to summarize various arguments that are presented in Shankara's commentary in the first 4 sutras. Okay, so this has to be kept in mind. So that's why I am taking you to that. In the third sutra, which simply goes as Shastrayonitvat. Okay, Shastrayonitvat is the sutra. Yonihi means Karanam. Okay, Yonihi means Karanam. So Shastra here refers to this Vedic corpus. So I am not going to explain the sutra in great detail, but I am just going to take you through the commentary alone. The sutra has basically 2 interpretations. They call it first Varnaka, second Varnaka. Essentially, this appears towards the end of the commentary of the first Varnaka. This is a very, very short sutra with a short bhashya also. But the commentators have taken it, okay, to deeper levels of discussion. So it says this Brahman So as we were seeing in the Upanishad, asya mahato bhutasya nishvasitam etad yadurvedo yajurvedaha. So the argument that is being presented here is this Brahman, whatever we call, is Sarvajna, Sarvashaktimat and so on. So in order to prove that it is a Sarvajna, so one of the arguments that is being presented is this entire corpus of Vedic knowledge came from Brahman and therefore it is Sarvajna. This is the context of the discussion. So Bhagavad Pada there says, see, if you see even normal people, if you are good in some 3-4 disciplines, so people call him, so he is an encyclopedia. We just use these phrases. But these are meaningless. Now, so we just use this. So here, this entire corpus of Veda is having its origin. Now what we have is only limited portion of Veda. So that is also in the tradition. So there is much more, several shakhas have got lost. So the belief is that everything emanated from that source. And therefore that entity, whatever it is, it has to be Sarvajna. This is the context in which the argument is presented. Here he takes the position. So it is a very beautiful argument that is being presented by Bhamatikara. And for understanding and appreciating that, you need a little bit of background. So in India we have a variety of philosophers. Okay? A variety of philosophers. Nayayikas have one position, grammarians have one position, Mimamsakas have one position. There are various positions which are being held, even with reference to Veda, Shabda, Rashi and so on. Mimamsakas hold this position that this entire prapancha is anadi. They don't even accept the cycle of kalpa, something goes to laya, something gets generated and so on. So some of them, they hold the view that this prapancha, in fact, I am just reminded of the kind of serious discussion that goes among the topmost physicists today. Will the universe be as it is like this? Or will it just blow out? Or will it just contract into a point now? We don't have an answer. So some people hold this view, it will be like this only. Some people say that if this constant changes by this magnitude 10 to the power of minus 123, suppose there is a small change in the parameter value of that order, 10 to the power of minus 123, somebody was saying the other day. Anyway, so if it changes a small by that amount, so then this will blow out, etc., etc. So this is the kind of discussion that goes. Mimamsakas hold this view. It is a static universe. Okay. So static means it is anadi. It is like this. It was like this. It will be like this. Okay. Take this view. So this is Mimamsaka's position. So if this was like this, okay. So then this anaditvam is easy, right? So this Guru Parampara has been always been there. So this Veda was there forever. Nobody revealing Veda and so on. You just assume that this is the position. This Shabda that we are uttering now. Suppose I say Rama. Simple word with 2 syllables. This Shabda, when I utter Rama Raya, let us say the author. Okay, Rama Raya, a 4-syllabled word. Initially I said Ra, then I prolonged Ra, Ma, Ra, Ya. Okay, there is a Guru, Laghu, Guru, Laghu. When I uttered Ra, what happened was essentially some vibration took place in the air column in between you and me. That vibration entered into your ear. Initially it sounded Ra, then Ra, okay, so it became Dirgha, then you heard Ma, then you heard Ra, then you heard Ya. So you are able to sense that the first noise that you were able to hear was Ra, then Ma, then once again Ra. So there is a certain ability by which you are able to recollect all of them. So that is lost. So that Ra, that sound, that frequency which entered is lost. But there is a certain image in your mind. You understand? So then came Ma. That had a slightly different kind of a impact in your mind, and that way you recognized Ma, then Ra, then Ya. Okay, fine. Now you are able to integrate all this, and then you remember Ramaraya. So when I say Ramaraya composed this work, Vedanta Muktavali. So till I complete this sentence, you are able to recollect one by one, and then you formed a overall meaning that there is a text called Vedanta Muktavali, and its author is Ramaraya. So this much came to your mind. But all the shabdas are gone, right? Now, they sort of make some analysis. Whether this Vakya, after all, Veda is Shabda Rashi. Right? Veda is Shabda Rashi. Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Punaktu. This is some Shabda Rashi. So, like this sentence, Ramaraya composed this work, Vedanta Muktavali. So I am just Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Punaktu. It is all some Shabda Rashi only. What is Nitya here? You tell me. What is Nitya in this Shabda Rashi? Then some people took the position that no, this Shabda Rashi as it is, so whether it is Pada or Vakya, this is all Anitya. But at the level of syllable, this is Nitya. At the level of syllable, it is Nitya. See, the way you arrange them, the sequence is Anitya. You understand? After all, A, B, C, D, E, there are only some 26. But then, the way you can arrange is Anitya. So, the sequence is Anitya, whereas that syllable is Nitya. This is one kind of a school. So that is what this commentator starts with. If you look at the commentary, he says, Ye pitavad varnanam nityatvam asthishata. So those who enjoy Sanskrit, you have a beautiful prose here to enjoy. So Bhamatikara's style is amazing. Ye pitavad varnanam nityatvam asthishata. Asthishata is a brilliant usage. So it is ang purvaka stha dhatu. Okay, stha is the dhatu, ang is the prefix here. Asthishata means those who want to establish this. See, okay, so pratignyam kurvanti, it almost means that. Okay, so you want to take a certain position, right? So Narendra Modi is a good person. No, Narendra Modi is a very arrogant person. You take some position and you want to establish by some reason. So similarly, here these people, Ye vidavad varnanam nityatvam asthishata. Those who have upheld the position that the varna is nitya, even those people, by those people, tairapi padavakyadinam anityatvam abhyupeyam. Even those people have to take the position that Pada and Vakya is Anitya only. After all, Veda Shabda Rashi is essentially a Samuha of Vakyas. So he is trying to make the argument more strong. You understand? Even those people who pledge, okay, who argue that Varna is Nitya, they have to anyway take the position that Pada and Vakya is Anitya. Okay? Abhyupeyam. Why? He gives the reason. Anupurvi bhedavanto hi varnaha padam. Padani cha anupurvi bhedavanti vakyam. Vyakti dharmascha anupurvi na varna dharmaha. Varnanam nityanam vibhunam cha. Kalato deshato va paurvaparya ayogat. What does he say? Anupurvi bhedavantaha. The word bheda, you have to carefully understand. This bheda, normally we take it to be difference. But it is used in the sense of vishesha. So Bheda means Vishesha. In fact, you can recognize difference only through a Vishesha. So this cow is different from that cow. There is some Vishesha in this cow. This human is different from that human. Everybody has the same face. But even then, the elements may be same, but there is a certain distinguishing factor. That is what you call as Vishesha. So Bheda is recognized only through Vishesha. So he uses the word Bheda. In fact, it has been used in those days. Anupurvi Bhedavanto means Anupurvi Visheshavantaha. Okay. Anupurvi Visheshavanto hi Varnaha Padam. What is Padam? A sequence of syllables. Padani cha Anupurvi Bhedavanti Vakyam. A sequence of padas make a Vakyam. Vyakti Dharmascha Anupurvi. The sequence is created by human fellow. Vyakti Dharma. It is not Varna Dharma. You understand? Sequence has nothing to do with Varna. Sequence has nothing to do with the Vyakti. So whoever utters it. So then he says, Vyakti Dharmascha Anupurvi na Varna Dharmaha. Then Varnanam Nityanam Vibhunanche. Whereas Varna is Nitya. Varnanam Vibhunam Kalato Deshato va Paurva Paryayogat. There is nothing like Purva Parva. Ka is Ka. Where you put Ka, you can put Kaka, you can put Vikala, you can put Sakala. So you can put anything. Okay. So Kamakala. So whatever you want, you can put. Okay. So this Varna is something which is Nitya and they are arranged in a sequence and you get it. Vyaktischa Anityedi katham tadupagrihitanam varnanam nityanam upadata nitya. And further he says, at one level you can argue, man, syllable is something which is nitya. But what is syllable? That is also ucharita. Anupurvi, forget, sequence. Syllables is also ucharita. It is after all generating some frequency. Okay, which you recognize as Ka. Okay. So it goes and strikes and you recognize Ka. See, Hayaku, suppose I say. So Hayaku is a word in Japanese. Quickly. So that is what I was told. So this Haya will immediately generate some horse in my mind. The jnana of horse if I know Sanskrit. Okay. Ku means Prithvi. So anyway, so the point is that Ha is Ha. So irrespective of whether it is Japanese. Okay. Haya means something, Ku means something. But the sound strikes and that syllable is heard almost similarly. It generates a different kind of knowledge because of a different kind of samskara. Now, let us analyze at that level now. So what is Nitya? Even this Varna people, so they are not idiots. So when they said it is Nitya, it doesn't mean that the Shabdocharana, in fact the Shabdocharana, there is a beautiful verse, no? What is that? Atma buddhya grihityarthan. See, Atma buddhya grihityarthan manoyumte vivakshaya manah kayagni mahanti. This is how they have nicely in Shiksha Shastra they say. How do you even utter a word? Atma buddhya grihitya arthan. A certain meaning is derived by you and then it prompts manoyumte vivakshaya. There is a certain desire to express and that is driven by the mind and manah kaya agni mahanti. It excites some energy in you. Okay, kaya agni. Saprerayati marutam. So that generates some wind in a particular way. So that wind comes from inside. So gets into the mouth, that cavity. And then the tongue functions something. And then it comes out as some sort of a sound. So there is a detailed description that you find in about 4 or 5 verses. Anyway, the point is, whether it is a syllable or a sequence of syllables, it is after all something which is generated by you. Then also it is Anitya. Then what is Nitya there? So one can argue at that level. So then we may have to say it is not that this is being spoken, but there is a certain samskara which is there inside you. Okay, so that this may be vritti. After all, when this goes and hits your ear, so some frequency gets transmitted in some form of a signal, and there is a samskara which is there already, and that samskara is nitya. Okay, that varna samskara. So that is what I think is the kind of argument. So there is a certain samskara which we will leave it at that now. So here he says, तदुपगृहीतानां वर्णानां नित्यानामपि पदता नित्या पद अनित्यतया च वाक्यादीनामपि अनित्यता व्याख्याता तस्मात्. Therefore, what does he say? नृत्तानुकरणवत् पदाद्यनुकरणं यथा हि यादृशं गात्रचरणादि नर्तकः करोति तादृशमेव शिक्ष्यमाणानुकरोति नर्तकी न तु तदेव व्यनक्ति. Suppose I say Aradhana sung the same song. You can only same song, whatever a teacher taught. So she sung. That is all I can say. So same song means it is not the same okay, Shabdocharana. So that Shabdocharana happened, and once again he repeated that same. So you can sing. Then also you can say same. Okay. The Shabdocharana is completely different. Okay. So here he is saying, that is what he is saying. Tasmat nritta anukaranavat means a dancer. So she makes a certain movement. So you say that this fellow also makes the same movement. Same movement means the different leg, different time, all that is different. Okay, different location. So here, that is how you have to understand this Shabdocharanam. Yatha hi yadrisham gatra charanadi nartakah karoti. Okay. Tadrishameva shikshyamana anukaroti. The one who is being taught, she just repeats. This is what is meant by Ramaraya when he said Ucharana Anucharanam. Okay. So keep this in mind. Anukaroti nartaki natu tadeva vyanakti. It cannot be tadeva because the event is gone. Event means X, Y, Z, T. The T is gone anyway. Even if you go and do in the same position. In fact, X, Y, Z and T all are different. Okay, vyanakti. But you still say same. Evam yadrishim anupurvim vaidikanam varnapadadinam karoti adhyapayita. तादृशमेव अनुकरोति मानवकः न तु तामेव उच्चारयति. You have to understand. Okay? तामेव न तु उच्चारयति. आचार्यव्यक्तिभ्यः मानवकव्यक्तीनाम् अन्यत्वात्. Simple. Over. Okay? Now he says tasmat. Therefore, what is the conclusion? नित्यानित्यवर्णवादिनां न लौकिकवैदिकपदवाक्यादिपौरुषेयत्वे विवादः. See, whether you take the position sabda or the syllable is nitya or the syllable is anitya, doesn't matter. Okay, both of them have to anyway take that this vakya is anitya, Veda is vakya, and therefore okay, kevalam. Now the Purvapakshi's position is Vedavakyeshu Purusha Swatantriya Aswatantriye Vipratipatti. Understand? So that is where the discussion is. Whether you have a Swatantriya or you do not have a Swatantriya. So there is no question now. Some Shabda which is being generated and that being Anitya, no question about that. It is the sequence in which and the swara in which it has been produced. Is it something which is reproduced or not? And do you have an independence in doing it or you do not have? Okay, so that is what he is saying. Kevalam Vedavakyeshu Purusha Swatantriya Aswatantriye Vipratipattihi. He further goes. Yathahu Yatnatah Pratishedhyanaha Purushanam Swatantrata. In fact, this is a beautiful karika which I understand. So it is to be traced in. So when I see this, Google is very useful in a way. So I was just trying to put this and it revealed that this is from Tattva Sangraha. something which has been composed in 8th century by someone whose name is very interesting, Shanta Rakshita. Okay, some person called Shanta Rakshita. So he has written a work called Tattva Sangraha, and it is said that it has some 3646 verses, and this is some 2288, the verse number. So what is the Purvartha of this? It is said, Teneyam Vyavaharasyat Akautasthyepi Nityata. I want to repeat. Repeat. Teneyam Vyavaharasyat.
Teneyam Vyavaharasyat. Teneyam Vyavaharasyat.
Akautasthyepi Nityata. Akautasthyepi Nityata. Akautasthyepi Nityata. Yatnatah Pratishedhyanaha.
Yatnatah Pratishedhyanaha.
Yatnatah Pratishedhyanaha. Purushanam Swatantrata.
Purushanam Swatantrata. Purushanam Swatantrata.
So what Bhamatikara here, Vachaspati Mishra quotes, is the later half of the verse. Teneyam Vyavaharasyat Akautasthyepi. See, this Kutastha is a word that you will find in Vedanta Shastra in many places. See, Kutavat Tishtatiti Kutastha. So, Kuta basically means an anvil. Anvil. So, a huge piece of iron with a specific shape, which will be used by blacksmith. Okay. So, this will be so sturdy. You can keep on keeping anything upon it with huge hammer, whatever it is. But this will be completely non-shaking. So, then only you can get the work done. Okay, and it should not get deformed, it should not shake, then only you can achieve whatever you want. So this is what is called Kuta. In English I think they call it anvil. Kutavat Tishtatiti Kutastha. In fact, see, there are so many people who are lovers of our culture. So I am just reminded that even in our ritual, this Vivaha Samskara, there is a certain ritual which we do. What we do is, so this Purusha, okay, so this person has to take her Patni, to be Patni, okay, okay, so to be Patni, so he has to bend down, make her move step by step. So he will be lifting her leg and asking her to keep on a granite stone, okay, big granite stone will be there. And the mantra essentially tells that in our life which we are going to carry on, there may be lots of ups and downs. Okay. So we should see to it that we do not let our heart loose. Okay. We should not be faint-hearted. And we should be as strong as this granite stone. So in granite stone, what do? You can put chilli, you can put jaggery, you can put whatever you want. Okay? You can put bitter gourd and crush it. See, you can put badam and crush it. Okay? You can put ikshukhanda and crush it. So that remains as it is. So too, we may have to come across various situations. And of course, it takes us further. So wherein we say that, may Ishvara bless us this kind of a mindset. Okay. So anyway, that is what it is. So I am just telling this is the Kutastha. The idea is that Kutastha is very important. So if you are a faint-hearted, nothing can be done. So we should be strong. So that is a ceremony which is trying to impress upon the idea. Anyway, now here Bhamatikara, he says this Yatnatah Pratishedhyanaha Purushanam Swatantrata. That is what he quotes. But the earlier half of the verse it says teneyam vyavahara syat. In fact, this is a sort of a discussion which goes on. I am trying to explain the first half of the verse. Vyavahara syat akautasthyepi. See, this vyavahara means laukika vyavahara. So, though the Shabda Rashi is not Kutastha, Rashi, you understand? The sequence is not Kutastha, Pada is not Kutastha, Vyavahara in that. So, Nityata still gets established, and it has to be established Yatnataha, means, so by arguing, by a certain logical reasoning, Yatnataha with effort, this has to be established. What is to be established? This Nityata. And therefore, Pratishedhya. What is Pratishedhya? Swatantrata Pratishedhya. Understand? So, Yatnataha Purushanam Swatantrata Pratishedhya means you have to ensure. This is a very, very important principle. Okay? So, today the accuracy. So, this is very important. When the signal gets transmitted, some noise may come. So, Yatnatah Pratishedhya, the interference of noise. Right? So, there are so many algorithms which you write. And you finally try to get rid of something. And finally, you have to get the message. Otherwise, you will talk and I will remember some other voice. Okay? So, all this noise filtration has to be done. Now, similarly here, what is he trying to say? Yatnataha pratishedhya purushanam swatantrata. So, in transmitting this knowledge, purushanam swatantrata yatnataha pratishedhya. So, you have to see to it that the swatantriam does not enter into the Shabda Rashi at any cost. And naha here means naha. See, what is naha? Asmakam naha. So either you can say naha swatantrata or purushanam swatantrata. Why naha purushanam swatantrata? This will be confusing, right? The naha swatantrata means we do not have. Purushanam swatantrata, otherwise it will be repetition. So redundant factor is not acceptable. Redundant word is not acceptable. So what you have to understand is Purushanam Swatantrata Yatnataha Pratishedhya. The word Naha here is used in the sense of Asmakam only. So in the Sanskrit language, Asmakam. So I will give you example. There is a many of you would have attended this Sanskrit Bharati classes, right? There they will sing a song. The song will be Lokahitam mama karaniyam. Have you heard this? Lokahitam mama karaniyam. Mama lokahitam karaniyam. Or lokahitam karaniyam. You understand? Lokahitam mama karaniyam means, see, it essentially means I have to do lokahita. Every individual has to feel I have to do lokahita, then lokahita will take place. But the usage is mama karaniyam is there. Mama is essentially the sixth case. So maya karaniyam is the meaning. So though maya karaniyam is the sense, what has been employed there is mama karaniyam in order to fit the meter. So but this is permissible. In fact, there is a sutra itself in Kaumudi. So instead of Tritiya, you can put a Shashti. I don't remember the sutra anyway. So that instead of that, that is essentially here also. Here, Yatrataha Pratishedhya Naha. When can this be done? Not in all cases. So only in specific places. See, this is all rule-based grammar. Okay, and the rule depends upon so where you are employing. So this rule cannot be applied just like that. Okay, it's case-based. So the case-based application will be there. Here, whenever you have this Krit Pratyaya is there. Okay, Karaniyam. So there it is a Krit Pratyaya. So when it is Krit Pratyaya, here you have again have a Krit Pratyaya. See, so Pratishedhya. It is a Yat Pratyaya. Okay, so it is like aniyar. It has to be done. Okay, so then you can use instead of third case, you can use sixth case in that sense. So that is how it is. Yatnatah pratishedhyanaha purushanam swatantrata. So this is in Tattva Sangraha. So Bhamatikara now starts Yathahu. Yatnatah pratishedhyanaha purushanam swatantrata. Tatra srishti pralayamichan. So this is again. So remember, this is a beautiful thing. Srishti pralayam anichanto jaiminiyaha. Jaiminiyaha means Jaimini is the pravartaka of Mimamsa Shastra. Anichantaha means, so they are not liking this theory that there is a Srishti Pralaya. So they want a steady state universe. Okay. Srishti Pralayam Anichanto Jaiminiyaha Vedadhyenam Prati Asmadrisha Gurushishya Paramparam Avichinnam Ichante. Vedam anadim achakshate. Okay. So if you take that position, that is very simple. Assume that the universe goes like this. So take it. Okay, take it backwards. So this kind of a transmission of knowledge has always been there. So because you have regarded this as the most prestigious knowledge and you just try to preserve it in the most pristine form. So just take it back. It has been there. Okay. Vedam anadim achakshate. Anyway, you can take it to anadi. This atma is anadi, this karma is anadi. So you have various cycles of birth, various gurus have come and gone. But this knowledge has got transmitted, uninterrupted, without getting polluted. So then he moves on to Vedantins. He says, Vayyasikantu matamanuvartamanaha. Jaiminiyas take this position. But Vedantins, Vayyasikam matantu anvartamanaha Shruti smriti idihasadi siddha srishti pralayanusarena anadya vidyopadhana labdha sarvashakti jnanasyapi paramatmanaha nityasya vedanam yonerapi nateshu swatantriam purva sarganusarena tadisha anupurvi virachanat. What does he say? He says, but for Vedantins, so who accept this Pralaya and so on, so in the case of Pralaya, there is nobody, no Acharya, no Guru. What you have to understand is, there is a Pralaya means absolutely nothing. No human in physical form. So you don't say that Atma. So we take Karma Anadi, but in subtle form. Okay? In subtle form, things are preserved. Now, when you take this position, then there is this kind of a Guru Shishya Parampara Mimamsa argument will not work. So then what do you understand? How do you say this is Anadi? So there he says, Paramatmanaha Nityasya Vedanam Yonerapi Nateshu Swatantriam. Swatantriam is not there. Paramatma will repeat. Okay, what was there in the previous birth as it is. Purva Sarga. Sarga here means not the Sarga chapter. Okay, Sarga means creation here. Purva Sarga Anusarena Tadrisha Anupurvi Virachanat. Okay, so same Anupurvi, same sequence, it is being revealed once again. Okay. So we will stop here. So it is time for us to terminate the class. So we will continue this discussion in the next class. Okay. Om Sarve Pisukina Santu, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavetu. Om